It's in the fourth quarter Monday for the Mavs. He sat out last night against the Nuggets with a tight back. Dallas loses 118-109. Skip, let's start with you. What is going on with Kyrie?
Yeah. And Sharp, I told you this will not ultimately work in Dallas. Here we go again.
He had a tight back.
This was typical, unpredictable, inexplicable, cannot be trusted Kyrie striking again. So let me get this straight.
Yes.
Monday night, he scored 26 in the fourth quarter, the most he's ever scored in any quarter in his career. He was sensational.
Yes.
And then suddenly, ahead of a game at Denver against the best team in the West at mile-high altitude, which a lot of players, especially NBA players, don't love to play in. You played in it a lot, but they don't love it. It feels like that maybe Kyrie said, you know what, I need an early start to my All-Star break. I think I need to take a game off. And Jason Kidd tried to cover for him and said, it happens. It could have been from a fall in that game the other night. I'm saying a fall. I watched every dribble of it. I didn't see any falls. I didn't see anything bad. I didn't see him limping. I saw him score 26. Yes, I do almost every day.
Okay.
And I stretch like crazy, but I run, I go. And you know, and I know something is going on here because there's always something going on with a young man who has admitted publicly, I don't prioritize basketball anymore. Sometimes I need a sabbatical. Remember, he would take sabbaticals in Brooklyn and be incommunicado. They couldn't even reach him by text, right?
It's so, Skip, the man woke up. I've woken in the morning and had a tight back. It happened to me in a game. My back was tight as guitar strings. Take a shot of Toradol, and you fight through it. I know.
I don't think Kyrie's taking any shots of Toradol.
You took the word.
He wouldn't even take that
shot. If he didn't take the COVID vaccine, you know damn well he ain't putting that in his body. And I don't have a problem with that, Skip. The man had a tight back. How you can come to the conclusion? Okay, Dr. Bayless.
Okay, but how can you trust the background of Kyrie Irving? We know what's happened.
The man said he had a tight back.
Okay, all right, but here we go again. We're only 3 games in, and he's missing games.
Okay, his back, Skip. I think the thing for me is that this is what I've done, is that I look at it differently for each, like baseball, basketball, football. Skip, you know damn well a guy working with a tight back in the NFL, he playing. That's just the way it is.
It is.
In football, in basketball, and baseball, not so much, and that's okay. But I'm not finna sit here and say, oh, see, there go Kyrie on that bull job again. The man said his back was tight. He said, Jason Kidd said it could have been from the fall. He was listed on the injury report as probable Wednesday. Downgraded to a couple of hours before that he was out. Okay, Skip, I'm not reading. I don't know how you read more into it than that.
Because it's just Kyrie. He's got a track record. And he's not a bad guy. He's not a lawbreaker. He's not a troublemaker. He just goes his own way. And sometimes he feels like playing. And you know and I know sometimes he just doesn't feel like it.
So you think that was one situation he didn't want to play?
I don't know. It's also possible. I throw out the prospect of this. I, for one, stepped up and said, wait a second, what's going on here? It's possible he's now pouting over some of the criticism he took because in the first 2 games, the 2 fourth quarters in overtime, or the first 2 games he played with Luka, he shot the ball 22 times to Luka's 5 attempts. So 22 shots for Kyrie to 5. And I first guessed it, and I said, that will not work long term. Luka will not love it.
You don't know when they criticized it.
Okay, but Luka won't be comfortable with that. You know it, and I know it. He believes he's the man because he's earned the right to be the man. He is the closer.
Does he want to win?
Well, sure he does.
Okay,
but he doesn't want to take 5 shots in 2 fourth quarters in an overtime.
Skip, the guy had it go in both games, and you want somebody to interrupt that. You want someone to interrupt the virtuoso performance.
Okay? It's possible something was said in the post-game locker room. You know and I know, because they're going to clash because Kyrie's walking in that locker room saying,
is that what you want to do?
They embrace me with open arms. Baloney. You know and I know Kyrie walked in there at age 30 and said, I don't care what you've done. You haven't done what I've done in this league. I made a shot that won a championship. How many championships do you have, Mr. Luka? You got 0. Right?
I think we both can attest that Luka, for me, is a better player than Kyrie. Individually, you separate them.
Do you really think Kyrie thinks?
No, I don't think that, but I'm just saying. I think
I agree with you.
You polled the general managers. I don't think anybody's taking Kyrie over Luka.
Well, because just on sheer age to start with. Even with 23 versus 30.
But I believe, Skip, because of what Luka has done, Luka has taken a team to the Western Conference Finals.
Yep.
Kyrie, as the leader, the de facto leader, has never done that.
Nope.
So that in and of itself is a huge accomplishment. This is Luka's first time playing with another star player. You look at Kyrie and say he's a superstar. I look at superstars as guys that can lead a team without another superstar.
Well,
I have yet to see Kyrie do that.
And by the way, until LeBron returned to Cleveland, what was he there for 3 years?
Yes.
They did squat.
Right.
They were a bad basketball team.
I'm not finna leap to the conclusion like you did because the guy back is bothering him that all of a sudden he's on some bull jive now.
Okay, but you know and I know the first thing in your subconscious, your psyche was, uh-oh, here we go again.
As a matter of fact, I didn't think about it until Ash told me last night that he wasn't going to be able to play. I was like, oh, what happened? She's like, he got a bad back. I was like, oh, okay, it happens.
Okay, it happens, but it happens to Kyrie more than it happens to anybody else. You know it, and I know it. How many times in Brooklyn did he just suddenly take off?
He got a new lease on life, baby.
Okay, well, that's what he said.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I promise you, the rest of the Mavericks are looking side-eye.
Man, ain't nobody looking at it like Kyrie get well soon. Okay, he got a long break now.
Get well soon.
You got the All-Star game.
Yeah,
and then, they're going to get about a week off after that. So he'll get a chance. I don't know how many minutes he's going to play. But if his back is bothering him, hey, maybe just show up, get you a couple of minutes, and shut it down. Somebody else will be glad to get that opportunity because they're going to want to win the All-Star game MVP.
Okay, I got it. But you know and I know there's going to be clashing going on here because even though they look so different, because one's 6'2" and one's 6'7", and they come in completely different packages, they're doing the exact same thing. They want to do the same thing. They want to be the primary scorer on a basketball team. That's who they are. That's how they were built. That's who they've always been. And it's hard when one is already established as the homegrown man in the locker room, and the other guy comes in with the ring and says, I'm Uncle Drew.
But Skip, you make it seem like Luka is like fettuccine. I mean, even Kyrie knows the dude. The dude is a two-time All-NBA player. He's one of the top 5 players in all of basketball. Kyrie's never been that. That's not a knock. Kyrie is a great player, but he ain't Luka.
But he thinks he is, and that's why this will not ever click and work. I don't see them vibing off each other.
If you mean click, win a championship, no, I don't believe they'll win a championship. Click, work, they can play together and cause some problems. Yes, I do believe that can happen.
Okay, and that final sequence the other night when they're hot potato back and forth, it's like almost Luka was pouting because he knows Kyrie's taking all the shots because he's got it going. And so he says, here, you take. Kyrie says, you take it. And he says, no, you do it because you've been shooting all the shots and you're hot. You made 11 out of 12. No, you take it. No, you take it. And finally, Kyrie says, enough of this bull jive. I'm going to bounce past it into the lane, and it gets knocked away for a turnover. Okay, that's what happened.
Yeah, what happened? I mean, both of them were trying to show, because in a normal circumstance, Luka would have took that ball one-on-one and probably did a step back because they needed a 3 to tie. In a normal situation, that Kyrie would have took that ball, did some fancy dribbling, probably behind his back, and elevated and tried to shoot a 3.
He would have.
But they were trying to show they were unselfish and that they could play together, and neither one of them was able to get a shot off. I'm not concerned about them two playing together.
I am, and I just hope Kyrie gets well. I wish him well.
Skip, the man got a tight back. You know the thing. Things comes and goes.
Yeah. I wish him well. I hope.
Oh, my goodness, man.
I hope it's not worse than we think.
Okay, Dr. Elatrosh. I mean, they did not say the man need to be in traction, okay?
No, they didn't say that.
Mavericks in 7th place in the West heading into this All-Star break, gentlemen. It's going to be a fun final third of the season. That playoff push coming up starting next week. All right, entering the All-Star break, since we're talking about that, how has LeBron looked this season, guys? Let's discuss when we come back.